Yo, DC fam, welcome. You're watching DC Fanverse. Thank you guys for joining me. Right, guys, we've got Ruthye DCU in the game now, and we're gonna take a quick look at pro, her character file, her kit, and see what she does. So she comes in as a support mighty character. She is a superhero. She has the tags slow, counterattack, dispel, dodge, shatter. Now that's quite a lot of stuff built in there. So guys, so let's have a quick look at her alt. Let the sun set. Ruthye analyzes her opponents and calls out their incoming attacks to help protect her allies. Does 50% of her attack as physical damage and applies one stack of shatter to the enemy with the highest attack. For you guys who don't know what shatter is, right? Let's fly Mr. Black Adam. Let's go like Lobo. Just to remind you guys, skill shatter reduces enemy ultimate damage by 50%, maximum 2 stacks. 1 stack is removed when the affected character uses an ultimate ability. So once they use an ultimate ability, that comes off. So it doesn't stay there. And it's a maximum of 2 stacks you can pile on. Alright, so let's go back to Ruthye. So applies physical damage, 1 stack of shatter to the enemy with the highest attack. The first time she uses her ultimate ability, applies 2 stacks of dodge to allies in her row. So she's functioning a lot like Punchline there, because Punchline gives dodge to Joker, but here she gives it to her entire row. The first time she uses her ultimate ability, also does damage and applies 1 stack of shatter to the enemy with the second highest attack. Also, on the first ultimate ability, applies 2 stacks of cloak to allies in her row. The bonus on her first ultimate also applies to the second and third time she uses her ultimate. Wow, that's a lot of stuff she's applying to your back row. Dodge, cloak, to your entire back row. That sounds amazing. Right, her first attack, target an enemy who has the highest attack and strike them for 150% of her attack as physical damage and apply 2 stacks of weaken for 2 turns. If the target has a higher HP percent than anyone in your team's back row, apply 2 stacks of recuperate for 2 turns to each ally in your back row. If the target has a HP percentage than anyone higher HP percentage than anyone in your team's back row, then also apply 2 stacks of slow for 2 turns. This girl is absolutely menacing. She's not doing damage, but she is crippling you and protecting that back row. Recuperate, weaken, slow, dodge, shatter, cloak. She has everything. Right, her next ability, equal footing. Each time an ally in her row loses 20% of their max HP, Ruthye will counter attack against the enemy with the highest attack. Activates once per ally per turn. This counterattack will also dispel one full stack of random buffs they have and gain a copy of dispelled buff for one turn to everyone in her back row. If an ally is defeated, Ruthye will counterattack for 300% of her attack. This attack has a 100% critical hit chance. Alright, so I'm not sure what the dispelled buff is. I would assume whatever the buff that we dispel, the back row of mine gets it as a copy. So yeah, gain the copy of the dispelled buff. So if the enemy has, let's say, hard hit on them, we'll dispel that, but then we'll gain a copy of the back row will gain a copy of the hard hit buff. And it activates once per round for every ally that loses 20% of their max HP. Dear God. Right. Who next is there is always hope. Ruthie's ally in her row are under her protection. Any debuff that would have been applied to allies in her row are instead applied to her and have their duration set for one turn. Each time Ruthye has a debuff moved to herself, she gains one stack of hard hit and one stack of firm stand. Whenever a debuff expires on Ruthye, she heals 10% of her max HP. Ooh. Now here's the thing. I'm thinking. This is just spitballing here in my head. What if she? Hold on. I'm just a thought. Am I thinking that correctly? One of her passives. Nope. Can you imagine? Now, of course, Ruthye is back row. Straight away, there's no question about that. But there's this thought. I'm sure Nubia has it. So 2 times. So even then, that would mean a lot. Okay, not quite what I was thinking, but anyway, back row wise, Ruthye is an absolute menacing. She is gonna be crazy in the back row. Now I can almost see it. If she has Lobo in the back row and she protects him from taking damage, he can hit back so hard. It's crazy. She'll be healing, she'll be dispelling and giving those buffs to him. He'll be protected with dodge. You know what? I'm pulling for her. I can see her literally. She's literally is like a combination of Punchline and Joker, redirecting debuffs to herself, protecting the crew, protecting the team, and applying dodge to the team. That's crazy. The only problem that I see is she's a superhero. I mean, she would not work well with Joker. Otherwise, I was thinking throw Joker in the front row, in the back, Punchline in the back, put her in the back. All three of them are applying dodge left, right, and center, but then you can't use his team synergy. So that won't work. But I don't know how Supergirl will function if she has similar abilities where she's dodging, she has shatter. Well, I reckon shatter is probably be the tag that these guys have, because Lobo has it, she has it, Supergirl bound to have it. Oh, I am impressed. I am impressed with her. I don't. She's not a DPS, so she won't be pushing out that damage, but she does protect. But that her passive, her counter, 300% of her attack. So you put her attack up like crazy. When anyone loses that 20% of their health, can you imagine? Firestorm shoots off, hits everyone, they lose significant amount of their health, more than 20%, and then she just counters and targets them. 300%. And it's 100% critical hit chance. Put her crit up, put her attack up, and she's doing damage. And any burn that he gained with the shield or whatnot should be dispelled. Should be. Yep, I'm pulling for her. I'm pulling for her. She could be the next Cheshire. She's probably on the same rank as Cheshire at this point. So far, just by looking at it. Yep, I'm pulling for her, guys. So yep, so when she's out, we are pulling for her, and then we're gonna test her out and see how she is. So far, I'm liking her. She has a lot of stuff baked into her kit. She protects your team, so she is a back row character. So yeah, we're pulling for her. I know she's an unknown character to us. She's not in the DCU lore as per se. She was introduced for Supergirl in the Woman of Tomorrow story. So for most of you guys, it's unknown. But nevertheless, I'm pulling for her. So until next time, guys, do leave a like and a sub, and we'll see you on our next one. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video and don't forget to subscribe.